So let's give a warm realtor welcome to our very own hometown hero and the greatest ambassador our city could ever have, Jim Mattress McKingvale.
You guys, Jim McKingvale. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with us today. You are a true ambassador to everything that we do here in Houston. So.
Thanks for having me here today, Nicole. I don't think these chairs from Gallery Furniture, though. I don't know.
Noted. So to start off, I know everyone in this room has been impacted one way or another, indirectly or directly, within Hurricane Harvey. Tell me about how you made the decision to get so involved with helping those impacted through Hurricane Harvey and opening up your doors.
You know, on the Saturday before Friday, I stayed at Gallery Furniture that night with about 12 other employees awaiting the worst of Hurricane Harvey. I slept on a Tempur-Pedic, slept very well, but anyway, I woke up Saturday morning, it was raining cats and dogs, the feeder road was flooded, so we closed the store. And then about 4 o'clock, at least on the north side of Houston, the skies cleared up, the sun came out, and we opened up, sold a few sofas and mattresses, and I drove home to my house by the Galleria store that night thinking the worst was over. It rained all night. Saturday night, I got up to go to church. Sunday morning, my house was fine, but the road in front of my house was flooded. Finally, after about 3 hours, I made it through the water, and I got on 610, went over the first overpass on 610. The cars are coming the wrong way on the freeway. And that's when you know that the situation is very bad. I got to the store, had to get off on the entrance ramp to get there. The phone was ringing off the wall, the emails were exploded, the text messages were going ding, 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 nonstop for 2 hours. People saying, come rescue us, we're gonna drown. And at that point, we made a decision to open Gallery Furniture North Freeway, Gallery Furniture Richmond as shelters for people to get out of the storm. And we'd done a good job of having these, like 30 of these 26-foot long Penske trucks with real high beds could get through a lot of water to rescue people. What we hadn't anticipated, none of our employees would get to work.
Right.
So I had to get the message out. We were going to open both stores as shelters, and we needed people with commercial driver's licenses to go rescue people. So I called my son James, who was stranded in Dallas with his wife and children. I said, how do I get the message out? He said, Dad, you got to do a Facebook Live. I said, boy, I'm 67 years old. I've never done a Facebook Live, but he talked me through it, and we had 4.5 million views on that Facebook Live in the first hour and a half.
That's incredible.
And the people came in, and we gave them keys and trucks, and they went and rescued people and brought them in. And it was the worst of times, certainly for Southeast Texas, but it was also the best of times because, at least for one brief moment in time, we forgot about divisive politics, and we all came together and we helped each other. And that's what Texas is all about, and that's what we need to do every day.
Absolutely. What an incredible story. Absolutely incredible. So to kind of piggyback off of that, I know that several of your locations are being set up as community centers as well, half retail, half community center. Tell me about the decision to do that.
You know, as in the real estate business, everything is being disrupted. Mm-hmm. And Amazon is a very disruptive force in the retail business, so brick and mortar retailers like us don't need as much square footage anymore as we used to because customers all shop the website and then they kind of make a decision before they come in. So we're going to take about 30% of our square footage in the North Freeway store and also in the store at Grand Parkway and convert it into community centers. We've already got some people out there that are teaching. Workforce Connection is already out there. Work Faith Connection is already out there teaching people how to do job interviews. We're going to start teaching with Houston Community College, ESL, GED, commercial driver's license. We're going to teach woodworking. We're going to teach welding. We're going to teach construction skills. We're going to teach all these skills that they used to teach in high schools that aren't taught anymore, that as my friend Mike Rose says, will help people get dirty jobs that are good jobs that pay a lot of money, and we think it'll make a big difference. The median income around our North Freeway store, a 5-mile median income is $29,000. And we think one thing we can all agree on, no matter what side of the political spectrum that we're from, is that it's important to have more good jobs for Americans. And we're going to do that to help these people, but also to entrench us in the community. I have to ask myself and all of our employees every day, would the customers miss us if we would go out of business tomorrow? So we have to find ways to be relevant.
Absolutely. I think that's absolutely incredible because technical jobs it's what's lacking in the education system.
Well, technical jobs and skilled trades, that's one
Absolutely.
reason so many people are still not back in their home 12 months later, is there's not enough skilled tradesmen to rebuild these homes that had 6 or 8 feet of dirty water in them.
Absolutely. So Furniture and Philanthropy have defined you as a Houston celebrity and a Goodwill ambassador. With so many worthwhile causes, how do you choose which ones you decide to support?
I choose the charities I support. There's a connection most of the time. I'm very involved with the Texas Heart Institute because my beloved brother and my father both died of congestive heart failure, so we're working with them. My daughter Elizabeth has severe mental illness, so we do a lot of work to erase the stigma of mental illness and help people that have obsessive compulsive disorder and schizophrenia and other mental illnesses. I had a couple of mini strokes myself, so I funded the first ever mobile stroke unit in Houston that picks up people when they have a stroke, has a CAT scan machine in the back of it, and if you're having the right kind of stroke, they give you the chemicals and stroke's over immediately. So a lot of the things I do are things that I'm near and dear to me, and of course, education has always been on the forefront with institutions like the Houston Rodeo and Baylor College of Medicine, that type of thing.
Awesome. That's absolutely incredible. I had no idea about the mobile stroke unit, and that plagues my family as well. So I know that for many of us in the room, we definitely appreciate that. So we've got a bunch of salespeople in the room, a lot of them.
The best kind of people. Let me tell you a story. We all look at ourselves as salespeople, and sometimes we're the brunt of jokes. 2 weeks ago, our best salesperson, a guy who's been there since 1986, his name is Ted, a master salesman. He worked all day, went home that night, went to sleep, never woke up. And so we posted a picture of him on our website, and you never know what type of influence you're going to have. And that picture of him on the website, rest in peace, has had like 40,000 likes and 5,000 comments of people whose lives he touched and affected. Wow. So not only are we selling homes or selling furniture, we are changing people's lives for the better. I think all of us as salespeople need to give ourselves credit for doing that.
Awesome. You guys give yourselves a round of applause. But along those lines, I know that you have a very regimented idea of the perfect sales experience. Tell us a little bit about that.
The perfect sales experience is, to me, and it's my idea of that has changed over the years, is how much can we listen to the customers? Mm-hmm. And I think the customers will tell us how to sell them if we listen to them. There was a recent article in the New York Times that said that when you listen to people and they're able to talk and you're actively listening to them, it creates the same type of endorphin in your brain as food does. Mm-hmm. And it said also that people will pay you money to listen to them. So one of the things we're really working on is active listening skills, where, believe it or not, the salespeople only talk 20% of the time and let the customer talk 80% of the time, and that's hard for somebody like me to do.
I'd say it's hard for most of us in this room to do. So what is a good piece of advice that you didn't take?
Good piece of advice. Well, I was told early on...
Probably not Bitcoin.
I was told early on only to have one location, and then I got smart. Now I have 3 locations. My mentor early on said only have one location because they can only steal so much while you're watching them. And I didn't take his advice. I have 3 locations now, and although the other 2 locations do fine, I wish I only had one.
There you go. You can't be in 3 places at once, right?
Can't be in 3 places at once. And the other advice I didn't take as well as I should have was learn, if you're going to be successful, you got to be a good networker. And as I go on in my life, I see people that are successful, like President Bush, 41. His entire career, from the time he was 21 years old, every day when he woke up, of course, he didn't live in the email age, he lived in the letter age. And every day when he and Mrs. Bush would wake up, they would write 5 or 6 personal handwritten letters to people who had done them a favor the day before. They did that every day for 50 or 60 years.
Wow.
And, you know, could you imagine the network of people he built up? And so I think that networking is real important. My friend Kevin Brady is the congressman from the Woodlands. He's also the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. And I asked him how he learned his people skills. He was a chairman of a Chamber of Commerce in South Dakota, where he grew up at. He learned people skills there. Then he received a job offer from the Beaumont, Texas Chamber of Commerce, and half of the people there were free enterprise, the other half were union members in the plants. He had to learn how to work with both sides there. Then he went to the Woodlands, became chairman of that Chamber of Commerce. His mentor was George Mitchell. So he has wonderful people skills, and that's why he does so well. Wow. So I think developing those people skills, developing your network, you can never do enough of that.
Wow. So how has your branding evolved over time? And what was the catalyst for that change? Because we've seen, you know, gallery furniture really evolve over time into what it is today. What was the catalyst for that?
My branding over time was wearing a mattress and doing stupid stuff. And I read a sales article the other day about some guy that used to saw a mattress in half, said he'd gone crazy, and he was slashing prices. And the article said, most of us don't want to be that guy. And I thought to myself, I am that guy. But, you know, we did wild and crazy commercials to get notoriety, and then business changed. And, you know, when Hurricane Harvey hit, we brought those people in because it was the right thing to do. Before Hurricane Harvey, I was totally invisible to millennials. They didn't know who I was, or who I am. And we brought the people in. We did the right thing because that was the way I was brought up. I'm a Christian. I believe you help your neighbor no matter what color, race, ethnicity they are. And we did that. And my awareness with millennials went from 0 to 100%. I can't go into a Starbucks anywhere in this town that some millennial doesn't buy me coffee. I went through the damn drive-thru the other day and they bought me coffee. But the point of the matter is, I have learned in my life that you can do well by doing good.
Absolutely.
You can do well by doing good. 9 out of every 10 customers walks in a furniture store now and says, I'm here because of who you are and what you do, and thanks for what you do, and we're going to continue doing it, continue supporting the community. Like these community centers, we want to do what's right to make Houston and Texas a better place. And I think another thing that I want to talk about is we all need to get behind eliminating the flooding problem in our city. Mm-hmm. This is a great city, but we have an issue with the Tax Day flood, the Memorial Day flood, and then Hurricane Harvey, and we got to get behind straightening that up because that can really put a dent in us if we have another catastrophe like Harvey. So I think it's important that we get behind straightening that problem up.
I think everyone in this room would agree, right, guys? Absolutely. So looks like you got a free billboard there too.
I did, and whoever painted that risked their life. God bless them.
So tell me, you're a big family man as well. Tell me the decision to bring your family in, get them involved, and what role they play in your business.
Well, my wife, Linda, and I have been partners for years. She runs the West Side Tennis Club on Willcrest and Briar Forest that I impulsively bought 20 years ago, and she got picked to run that. She's done very well with that. My son, James, works with me, and he runs all the digital stuff. He's a digital guru, a wizard on that. My daughter, Elizabeth, and Laura, they both do commercials, but they're smart enough not to work retail.
Awesome. So you have employees, and you mentioned your employee that recently passed that have been by your side for years. I personally know employees of yours that have been by your side for years. Talk about employee culture and retention and what you do to facilitate that.
I think the culture is take care of the employees, take care of the customers. And, you know, showing up and working side by side with the people every day has been very beneficial for me to know what their problems are and try to solve their problems and make it to where everybody comes in there every day and has fun. At the same time, we realize we're there to delight customers and sell furniture. So we stay on task. And I think what we miss in this country is relationships. Mm-hmm. Human beings were made to live, work, play, and die in groups. And in 1850, the average size of a U.S. household was 10.2 people. Wow. According to the last census, the average size of a U.S. household is now less than 3. One of every 3 households is a household of 1. People are very lonely. In Great Britain, they just established a cabinet department, the Department of Loneliness. I think people are lonely. And I think by coming to work, they have their friends are there, they have fun there, they learn there, they challenge their intellect there, they learn new things, they grow. And I'm firmly convinced that's why we're doing that job training at Gallery Furniture. I am firmly convinced that work is life's greatest therapy, and we get our joy out of work, and all of us get better by working.
That is absolutely incredible. And I will tell you, in terms of the customer experience, my daughter begs me to come see the monkeys on a weekly basis. I'm sure those of you that have kids have also felt
The monkeys are our board of directors. They make all the decisions.
So we know that you are at the I-45 location for Gallery Furniture 7 days a week for the most part. Every time I've ever been in your store, you're there. Tell me, where do you get your drive and your energy from? Because I need some.
I get a lot of drive and energy because I have to make payroll every week. That gives you a different point of view. I like retail, and I draw my energy from the customers. Those customers out there, those are my people, and I want to be with those customers. I have fun being out there with the customers, being with the employees, and you know, retailing is just a big game. Selling homes is a game, and you know, you like to be successful. You like to play the game the right way, and you like it when you make a difference in somebody's life. So that's why I do it. I'll continue to do it every day of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Absolutely. So you're a highly successful businessman with a very high net worth. I'm guessing you have the financial resources to just kind of kick back and relax, but you don't. And you still work 7 days a week. Why do you still work 7 days a week?
Because I love to work, and I want to be an example to these young people. You know, the people tell you all the time millennials don't have a work ethic. Millennials have a great work ethic. People, you know, I was amazed about, after that Harvey stuff, how many people came back and said, you set an example for us, we want to follow your example. Well, we all need to be that example of, you know, it's still the Horatio Alger story. If you work hard, you do the right thing, you can get ahead, especially in Houston. And with all of us, I was in, over by the Louisiana border in some small town the other day doing a speech. I was in South Texas by the Mexican border the other day doing a speech. And both those cities were just, towns were just devastated. There's no opportunity there. Mm-hmm. We're so lucky to be in Houston and have such a great opportunity to serve these millions of great customers in this town. And if that doesn't get you motivated to get excited and go to work every day, then I don't know what will. But we're lucky to be in Houston. We thank God that we're in Houston every day and work hard to make this city a better place in which to work, live, play, and raise a family.
Amen. Absolutely the truth. So there's one very hard-hitting question I have to ask you.
I'm ready.
You ready? Do you ever take vacations?
No, I don't. I occasionally go to the Astros games. The last Astro game I went to, I was going in and these people started taking pictures, and I got caught in the hallway. I took pictures for 2.5 hours. And some guy said, don't you hate that? I said, hell no, that means the advertising's working.
Amen. So, no vacations, but what does retirement look like for you? Is it on a winery in Napa Valley?
That's a 4-letter word.
No? We didn't
No,
think so.
my fun is work. I like to work. My wife likes to work. She works harder than I do, and we're trying to set an example for our children and our grandchildren. And if we can do that, then we've left a legacy. There's a great book by a guy named Clayton Christensen. He's one of the most famous business authors of all time. He wrote The Innovator's Dilemma. He's a professor at Harvard Business School. And his favorite book that he wrote is called How Will Your Life Measure Up? At the end of the day, will you be remembered? And hopefully my wife and I will be remembered as people who left Houston a little bit better off than when we got here.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, sir. So you've spoken about some of the people in business that have been kind of mentors to you, but who are your true heroes and mentors?
My true heroes and mentors are my parents, of course, Dr. Michael DeBakey, Denton Cooley. There's this woman named Temple Grandin. She has a movie about her on YouTube. She's 73 years old. She didn't talk till she was 3 years old, has severe autism and severe Asperger's. And her mother refused to give up on her. And now, fast forward 73 years later, she is the world's premier expert on autism and Asperger's. And she's also the world's, has done more to benefit animal welfare than anybody in the history of the earth. And that goes back 800,000 years.
Wow.
She has changed the world. She's an incredible woman. She's a friend of mine. I'm in the racehorse business, and she consults with me on that. I became a millionaire in the racehorse business. The only problem is I started that as a billionaire, but that's another story. And she's one of my heroes, too. And another lady named Yvonne Strait, who started the Briarwood School here in Houston and Brookwood. And she's 91 years old, has more energy than anybody I know. And she fights for the least, last, and lost. People like that. My child, Elizabeth, is one of my heroes. When she was 13 years old, she was told she'd never graduate from high school because she has severe obsessive compulsive disorder. Now she has a PhD in social work from University of Houston, and she's a professor at Baylor College of Medicine, and she fights for the people that are mentally ill every day. So I got lots of heroes, lots of people to look up to, and lots of people that I admire that work very hard to make the world a better place, and to me, that's what it's all about.
Awesome. I know there's a lot of people in this room that would consider you a hero and a mentor and someone that they look up to as well.
I'm just a furniture huckster and proud of it.
And he's so humble. So you have such a charismatic personality. Have you ever had any media training? Or is it all just...
My media training was I was broke. I needed to make some TV commercials. I had $500. I rented this TV station for 3 hours. And I kept trying to do the commercial. I couldn't come up with a punchline in the ad. So my last commercial, I did about a little 25-second furniture commercial, reached in my back pocket, pulled the money out. I said, "In gallery furniture will save you money." And the producer said, "That's enough. Let's go home." But anyway, that's all the media training I've ever had.
That's all the media training you've ever needed.
It's just honest, genuine, transparent. Tell it like it is. That's all you got to do. Tell the truth. You never have to remember what you said.
Awesome. So let's end with the fact that you are a true Houston hero. And I think nobody in this room could ever thank you enough for what you've done. I'm
not a hero. The heroes were the firemen and the policemen, the first responders that risked their lives to make the city work during Hurricane Harvey. And the other heroes are all those people out there like you in the audience that are selling. You know, like it or not, salespeople make the world go around. Unless somebody sells that house, we're not going to sell any furniture. And unless somebody makes that sale, this economy doesn't work. So to me, I'm a salesperson. My father was a salesperson. I'm proud to be a salesperson. And to me, the heroes are the people who sell this country and don't sell us on the fact that our best days are behind us. Our best days for Houston and for the United States are in front of us, and we just got to keep selling the free enterprise dream and the fact that anybody in the audience or anybody in this town can achieve the American dream just like I did.
Absolutely. Such an inspirational story. Absolutely inspirational.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
See what's in there? It's grapefruits.
So, and it also
That's
has
very
the Davy Crockett shirt, if you could pull that out, Kat.
Oh, yes.
The back of it, there we go. I won't read it out loud, but...
It says you may all go to hell and I'll go to Texas. I love it.
All right, guys, let's have a round of applause for Jim Mattress McKingvale. All right, thank you, sir. And if you could stay on stage for me as well.